Hello traders and future millionaires. It is a fact that most of you are struggling to make consistent profits. Here on ChrisFX, we are changing that by teaching you the best of the best trading strategies. You know, most YouTube traders are gonna be teaching you strategies that are either too complicated to follow or they are cherry-picked and they do not work, plus they are all gonna teach you the same exact things. Here on ChrisFX we are completely different, and today I'm coming to you with a strategy which you have never seen before. And you can go ahead, of course, and backtest this strategy after we have finished with this video. So here I have one example in order to show you how this strategy works. And I'm gonna try to replicate what we are seeing exactly right here. I'm gonna create a bullish candlestick in this occasion. What you want to see from the daily time frame, of course you can see it on any time frame, it doesn't matter on which time frame. But here, let's say that we are on the daily time frame where I'm gonna be showing you the strategy. You wanna see the creation of two candlesticks at the beginning. And those candlesticks, those are the two candlesticks I am referring to. It is this candlestick right here and it is this candlestick right here. Those two candlesticks. Okay, I'm gonna be replicating this thing. What you want to see is the creation of two candlesticks such as this one. Okay, the second one should be a very strong candlestick, a bullish candlestick. This is very similar as a strategy to the breaker block strategy, but it is not the breaker block strategy. What you will be doing in this occasion, when you have now an overall bias, you are judging only from those candlesticks. When a candlestick such as this one closes above the previous high, okay, the high of the previous candlestick, the highest point is this one, and we closed with a full body, you are waiting for a continuation towards the upside. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, then go ahead and click on the top right of your screen right now and check out my video on daily bias. So we would be expecting the third candlestick now, the candlestick next to this one, to be a bullish candlestick as well, because this one closed with a body above the highest point of the previous candlestick. Nonetheless, when you see this pattern, this is something that I noticed on the daily time frame, let's say now. Okay, let me do that. Change color. Let's do that pink color or whatever, we don't care. When you see a wick on the previous candlestick, you can just go ahead and highlight this wick as it is right here. You can extend this wick towards the right, and yes, on a lower time frame this is gonna be a part of an order block, okay, and then you can be expecting to see a retracement back to this area and an instant reaction. This is very important as a strategy, because what we are teaching usually is wait for a move. Okay, we have a full move which is on a lower time frame. This is full of candlesticks right here. Okay, and then you go ahead and you identify the order block or whatever you are identifying, or the FVG, and then you are waiting for a full retracement and then for a reaction. And this is where most of the traders are losing it. They don't have specific rules as we have here on ChrisFX, and if you want to finally get funded or succeed with your own capital, because funding is not the only way, of course, then go ahead and subscribe to one of my exceptional services where you will know exactly why you should be entering with any strategy of your liking. You will be having specific rules. So how is this different? This is very different because now it is not as if we have been identifying this order block and we're waiting for price to come back and react. This is also fine, but this one takes momentum into account. So you see one candlestick which left a wick. You see here I highlight this wick. Of course you can highlight the king breaker block which is being created, let's say, by this wick and by this wick right here, those two wicks. So you can highlight this whole thing in this occasion. But this strategy is not using the king order block, it is a pattern. When you see that exactly, you just highlight the wick of the previous candlestick, okay? If you have a bias that you are gonna go towards the upside, in this occasion we do have it, as I said, watch my previous video on daily bias, because this closed with a body above the highest point. Now you extend this wick, this whole area to the right, and what you are doing, when price is making it back to this area, you are scaling down to a lower time frame and you are looking to instantly buy this thing. Does this make sense? If it does, this is absolutely fantastic. By the way, let me just go ahead and take a screenshot of this one. We might implement it into the thumbnail. Okay, here it is. This is the first example. I'm gonna be deleting everything. You are just checking out day by day what is happening day by day. And here is our first example. In this occasion, you have more than one reasons to assume that price is gonna be continuing towards the upside, but we will be focusing only on specific candlesticks. By the way, you see this thing almost happening here. I'm not gonna confuse you. We close with a very impulsive, with a very strong body, let's say daily candlestick above the previous day's high. We have our wick, which I told you to use. Do not use the king order block, which is created by this wick and by this wick, just this wick right here. I'm gonna extend it so that you can see this wick. And then what you will do, you will be scaling down to a lower time frame and you will be looking to find a buy opportunity within this area. Okay, in this occasion you see that price left without us, and this would marginally qualify for me to take a trade with the things that I'm teaching in the ChrisFX Academy or mentoring or even the signals. But if I take you back in time, of course here it does not allow us, but let's see if we are allowed to go to a 3-minute time frame as an example. Let me go back in time and let's see if we are allowed to go down to the 3-minute time frame within this area. Okay, here on the 3-minute time frame you can see that things are very easy, let's say. After this change of character, and the change of character, where did it happen? It happened exactly right here. You have your breaker block. This is also a breaker on an even lower time frame. So this can be used as your area in order for you to take your trade. Now the stop loss, you can place it at the bottom of this area right here, because we have an untested fair value gap, which is this fair value gap all the way down here. Price might retrace all the way down there. Now regarding profits, let's go back to the daily time frame. Of course here it is printing an additional candlestick. You are assuming that price is gonna take the highest point of this candlestick now, and that we are gonna be continuing towards the upside. So if I take you down to the 15-minute time frame or even the 3-minute, again, this is gonna be your profit all the way up there. Look at that. You are into the trade, and then you go ahead and you hit your target. This is happening, by the way, within, let's go from the activation to the trade. This is happening within how much? 5 hours. 5 hours for a 6.6 to 1 reward to risk. Let's just go ahead and find another example. Of course, in retrospect, there you go. Easy. Instantly right here. This is something that I will start, of course, implementing also in my trading arsenal, but I have very specific ways of entering the trade on any single strategy that I might be using. So here we are, we have an impulsive candlestick. I'm showing another bullish example in this occasion, and this bullish candlestick closes above the highest point of the previous candlestick, daily candlesticks again. Okay, you are expecting the next candlestick to continue towards the upside. Nonetheless, you can be expecting a retracement first. On this wick, you extend this wick. Okay, a retracement, you don't know where exactly. That's why you have to have an entry model, which we have on ChrisFX, and you are missing. I'm totally different than the symbol and regular things that other traders are teaching you with other words. I am having very specific rules and a bunch of strategies that you can use from. So go ahead and enroll now. Do not wait a single moment. So now you will be going on the 15-minute or the 3-minute time frame again, and you will be waiting for a reaction from this area in order to take your trade all the way to the previous day's high. Now, here again, on the 15-minute, you wouldn't be having an opportunity. Let me give you an additional secret now. This is gonna be, excuse me for that, for this line, this is gonna be an additional secret from me to you. So this is normally something that you might know already, it doesn't matter, but when you have such a large area, such as this wick that we have highlighted, inside this zone, you have 15-minute fair value gaps. Look at this 15-minute fair value gap, which is the first FVG in this area, in this blue zone. Look at that. So what you can do now, you can go ahead, highlight this 15-minute FVG and again go down to the 3-minute, which we are not allowed to do. Let's go to the 5-minute and see if we can find our opportunity on the 5-minute time frame. We might be able to. Okay, we are almost there. Let's go a little bit backwards, and this is where we should be. Exactly right here. Now we are on the 5-minute time frame. Inside this area, a little bit choppy as a price action, but now you have a more specific area, such as this 15-minute FVG within this extremely huge area that we have highlighted. So you have narrowed it down to this 64 pip area to specific, let's say 4.8 pips. There are some more FVGs down here, so you can expect a continuation towards the upside, a reaction from those FVGs. So now your change of character, of course, is happening right here. FVGs, there are a bunch of FVGs. On the 5-minute, you can find a trade, which is this trade right here. Stop loss on the bottom of this area, 9.3 pips. Because we are not magicians and we cannot know if price is gonna come and retest lower areas as well, target again this target from the daily. And this will happen within 1 day. Usually the high is gonna be taken within the same day. So since we got activated until our profit, it was 18 hours and 45 minutes for an 11-to-1 reward to risk, which makes this strategy absolutely spectacular. Now, this strategy is different than the breaker block. The breaker block in this occasion, let's say over here, would be this one over here. You see the reaction, you could be shorting this. This strategy, what needs to happen instantly afterwards. You see, we have 1, 2, 3, and here we go again. 1 second candlestick, the third one should happen within the same day. If it doesn't happen, it is totally different if you say, I'm gonna be waiting now for this one to be tested, because this didn't happen instantly. But even in this occasion, you see how amazing it is that we had a reaction within 3 days, after 4 days actually, from this thing happening. But with this strategy that I'm teaching here, this is the candlestick right here. This daily candlestick you would be expecting to come instantly with momentum. This strategy takes into account the momentum, activate you, and then go ahead and eat this high right here. This should happen within the next candlestick, okay? Or at least the activation should happen within the next candlestick, the next day, which is this day. This didn't happen, so this is not part of this strategy that I'm teaching, which is the immediate activation. And of course, let me find yet another example, probably towards the downside in this occasion. Here it would be very marginal, you wouldn't be activated as I see it. 1, 2, you would be highlighting this wick in order to short it, but this didn't make it back. This wick right here of the third candlestick, this wick right here didn't make it back into this area at all. Let's go ahead and find another example back in time. Of course, this is not always gonna happen. Okay, let's see. This is an example that happened way afterwards, so it is not part of this strategy, but you see the perfection You highlight this wick, price is coming, tapping on it, it is leaving. Here we don't have anything. It's not gonna happen always, guys, but here, for example, you can see a similar situation. For this strategy, you are just looking at the candlesticks and nothing else, no FVGs, nothing. So here is another example. You close this day, it is a Thursday, 6th of October, you close with a body, the body closed below the lowest point of Wednesdays, 5 October. What do? It is a prerequisite that you have a wick. This is your wick of the daily. You highlight that, you wait for the next day to activate you into this area and for price to leave. This is extremely marginal in this occasion. We don't know if this would be a trade that we would be taking because this happened a little bit outside this area, but the logic is exactly the same every single time. So you are identifying a wick pretty much and you are waiting for price to make it back to this wick. Now I'm gonna be making another video for another time. This goes with the immediate reaction. You can go ahead and check it out. Of course, this concept can work later on in time, and you will see that if you combine it with concepts such as FVGs, daily FVGs, this is a daily fair value gap, and at the very same time the highest wick is this wick right here. So you can go ahead and narrow down this whole FVG to this area. Absolutely fantastic. Price came back to this area, but this is for another video because it doesn't have to do with the immediate reaction, so I don't wanna confuse you. Go ahead and subscribe to ChrisFX and also to my other channel, the SMC Trader, for more free educational content, and then join my academy or a one-on-one mentoring where I'm gonna teach you different stuff than everyone else and stuff that is gonna make you successful if you follow them to the pip. This is gonna do it for today, traders, and thank you all for watching. Until next time.